Welcome to Reset to Healthier Relationships Sunday night at 9. I am your host, Coach Glenda, here with my course manager and co-host, Rufus Carpenter. As most of you already know, Rufus and I have created this forum where you can discuss trials and triumphs in past and present relationships. We encourage everyone to speak and share their truth and talk as much or as little as they would like. And just a few housekeeping rules before we go any further. Please mute your devices until you're ready to speak to avoid any background noise, as well as let's be respectful and allow everyone to speak their truth to get their comments in. Now, I will allow Mr. Carpenter to tell you a little bit about himself as well as his background.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to keep it very brief because we got a good subject tonight. So I'm going to keep it very brief. My name is Rufus Carpenter. I come to this space by several ways. The most essential way I came to this is by being in the military. I had responsibility of being a human and race relation leader. We had the responsibility going to all the military units that had issues with either race or relationship. And I'd be the first person on the scene. And I do what's called an intake form. With the intake form, I would use that to decide what level of responsibility or what resources we have towards solving that problem. So my background in this field is very diverse, but that ain't why we're here tonight. Tonight we're here for Sunday night at 9 because you got 20 of your girlfriends in your living room. You guys are doing well. It's after 9, so you relax, got a glass of wine, and you're ready to talk about relationships. So that's why I'm here tonight. All right, Glenda.
Okay, welcome everyone to Reset to Healthier Relationships Sunday night at 9. We're diving deep into a topic that speaks directly to the heart of every woman, navigating love and relationships. What boundaries or practices can we put in place to ensure your energy is honored in future relationships? That is our topic for tonight, and I'm going to tell you that again. What boundaries or practices can we put in place to ensure your energy is honored in future relationships? Too often, we pour so much into others that we forget to refill ourselves. We silence our needs to keep the peace or give and give without receiving anything in return. But tonight, we are reclaiming that truth that your energy is sacred and it deserves to be honored. This is not just about dating or marriage, it's about valuing yourself so deeply that you teach others how to value you. So let's talk openly, let's listen deeply, and let's leave tonight with tools that protect your heart, our spirits, and our future connections.
Oh, listen to that. I'm excited, man. I got goosebumps when you said all that. So the night's going to be interesting, very, very interesting. Now, by the way, this was a topic that the audience last week requested that we have this week because this was the tail end of last week's Sunday night at 9. And this with the boundaries and practices, that's very, very important. How do you protect your energy? How do you do that for future relationships? So, audience, you guys had a lot more to say than I think what we got to say of this one. So let's open it up to you right out the gate. What are some of the things you have tried or done when you know that you've been in a relationship that strains you, that really drains your energy, and you don't feel good being around this person. The time you spent with this person, you seem like you just wore the heck out, and you really ask yourself, is it me or is it them, or is it that what's happening? And if you know what's happening and stay there, then you're not honoring your own self. You're not honoring your own self because you got to have self-love in everything you do and self-respect. Okay. So, audience, let's start. Who wants to be the first to actually jump in here and give me some pointers or give me some thoughts on this subject? Okay. So I guess I got to start out, huh? So I got to start it out. Okay, the first thing is communication. That's the first level where issues start. Communication. You have to have clarity in communication. You have to say what you mean and mean what you say. And when you say something to someone and it's straightforward and it's within reason, they have to say okay. And if they keep breaking, or if they keep not showing up the way they should show up in your communication with them, the back and forth communication, and you feel that they're off, it's not a matter they don't understand, it's a matter they don't respect you in that conversation. And you made it very, very clear, hey, if you speak this way to me again, we're through. Or if you speak to me this way again, we won't see each other talk as much. And they do it. You don't have to apologize for saying that. You got to realize you got to protect your own peace. And I think we had one meeting where that was very, very important. And I think, matter of fact, Gigi said that she, at all times, her peace is important. So I understand that, and that's why communication, well, clarity and communication is so forward. Now, I can tell you a time where I had a conversation with someone, and my thing was, when I had the conversation, they always talk so negative and down about me. I could have done something 8 months, 10 months, 12 months ago, and we've got beyond that. I've improved, I've asked for forgiveness, and I did all that. And every time we talk, you remember when you said that? You remember? And I said, wait, hold up. I've learned, I've grown, I've gotten better, I apologize. You know, you can't keep beating me up in the face with the same thing. Am I the only one that's been through a scenario like this, or anybody else been through a scenario like this? Well, how would you help me in that situation? If if I told a person, if you told a person, hey, look, please don't talk that way to me again. Please don't address me like that again. We're behind. That's behind. What would you do? Would you just drop them, or would you come one more time to say the same thing all over again? Enough is enough. Or how would you handle that, audience? Well, Glenda, help me out. How would you handle it, Glenda?
Okay, for me, I think I would give them two opportunities. I would say something to them at least twice,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully by the second time, they would have caught on to what I said, so they would stop that behavior. But after the second time, I would pretty much start pushing back. I
Mm-hmm.
would find, I won't say make an excuse, but I would find a way to push back. It's like, as I, you know, as a relationship would progress, this would only get worse. This is more or less a red flag. If you keep bringing up something 8 months ago that you did wrong and someone keeps throwing it up in your face, I mean, what happens when the next event or the next incident happens? They're going to do it again. And before you know it, you got 15 every day, somebody throwing something up in your face from the past. And it's like, you don't want that type of unhealthy relationship. You don't want to constantly have mud thrown in your face in your relationship. If you say you forgive me after I spoke to you, let's leave it right there. It shouldn't come up again.
And it don't necessarily mean it have to be something you've done wrong. It could be their tone towards you. And this is this whole new scenario. It could be their tone towards you. When they talk to you, they talk down to you. They talk down to you and they talk to you, and you can feel it. You're saying, wait a minute, look, hey, look, we're equal here in this relationship. We're very equal. I'm not your son. I'm not your brother. I'm your man or your husband or your boyfriend or your boo. I'm going to respect you and you respect me. And that it could be that kind of thing too. Because I think what it say when a person talking to you sideways, you know what? When the person talking to you sideways, you understand that. How do you handle that?
Communication.
Okay, communication. That's clear. The clear communication. And you know, because a lot of times I know I ask myself, do this person get it? Are they getting what I'm saying? Or they
No,
just don't respect me enough to change?
they don't respect you enough to change.
You know,
That's true.
and if in that situation, you know, do you say, well, Darren, I love this person to death, but you know, hey, I'll put up with it. They're worth it. And if you say that, if you say they're, you know, I hate what they're doing and they're worth it, so I'm gonna hang in there. Is that the best? Is that a good thing to do?
No.
No,
Why is not?
If I may,
because
say, if I may say
Pierre first.
something,
Pierre first. Go ahead,
uh,
Pierre.
if you're married, legally married, I think it's 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 a healthy approach to try to stand it and stay with it. But if you're not married, we just good friends with benefits, or booze, and then it's not worth it.
Okay. I think Gigi was going to say something before you started, sir. I think
Oh, sorry.
good.
yes, I was going to say that communication is key, but if you give in to the person the first time and then they do it again, that becomes a pattern. So you have to make a choice whether or not, is this going to be worth it? Because I know for myself, if I communicate to you that something I don't like and then you continue to do it, or you're kind of standoffish from me, then I've got to make a decision for myself to whether or not I need to deal with you. Because if I've told you that this is something that I don't like, and nobody likes everything that a person does, but if it's a deal breaker, then you have to move on if they continue to do it. Am I wrong or right?
You're right,
You're
in
right.
my opinion.
DG,
Great.
I agree with you 100%. Okay. Because at the end of the day, with you knowing and loving yourself first, it's a matter of how much you're willing to take. And when
Right.
that cup is full and you sick and tired of being sick and tired, it's time to move on because there again, at the end of the day, it's all about an individual's peace. Because it's all about us being at peace and happy with where we at. If you going and keep going and keep going and you're miserable, there ain't no need of both y'all being miserable. Ain't no need of you going through that kind of stuff. Move on. Let it go. We know what we want in life. We ain't got time for red flags and stuff like that. When I communicate with you and you keep doing it, you don't give a flip about me because you don't consider how I feel. If you don't consider how I feel, I ain't no way in heck I'm gonna stay in there. Get out. Run. Shit, be an Olympics gold medalist. Get the heck out and sprint fast as you can.
What do you think about a person that after you tell them that something you don't like and then they become standoffish? What do you do then?
Run.
That's
Because
right.
that's still that's ignoring your feelings. That's
Exactly.
ignoring your feelings because you're either gonna do one or two things. If you're in love with a person and want to be with a person, you're gonna do one or two things. One, you're gonna consider that feeling and try to do better. You
Right.
understand? Because that naive and that foolishness, being a fool, saying, "Well, I didn't know, I didn't know." Well, I done communicated with you and I done told you. So if you can't consider my feelings and where I'm at with you, then I don't care what they do for standoffish, ignoring you or whatever, or don't want to communicate on that level no more. Hey, it's time to go. Time for you to be happy as an individual. That's how I see it anyway.
Right.
You know, and I'm glad you guys answered that way because really, if they don't get the hint, it's not about them anymore. It's about you.
Yeah, that's
It's about, do you respect yourself? And matter of fact, it's about you respect yourself and self-care, because you have to consistently protect yourself and take care of yourself. Because, for instance, let's say that let's say you have a job and you have a limited time, and the person know that you have to be on your job at a certain time, and they always want you to do something where it's so close to your job. If you go with them, you know you won't make it back, or you go with them, you know you're gonna be tired for the job. You won't have to be able to prepare your uniform or yourself or whatever that is, and they don't respect your time. You know, if you keep letting them do that, is that taking care of them at your own expense? You're not taking care of yourself. That's what system self-care is, and that's what this is all about. And your energy, how do you protect yourself? How do you protect your energy in all of this? Because if you go along and be a crowd pleaser or try to please everybody and forget about self, what are you really doing? What are you really
You're about to lose your
job? Yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that comment.
You're about to lose your job.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You ain't about to lose it, you done lost it.
Yep.
Mr. Carpenter,
yes,
there was Sharon had put 2 comments in the chat I wanted us to address before we go any further. She says, what if they're not your equal? Because remember when you stated, we're equal. And she came back and responded, what if they're not your equal?
Okay. Well, matter of fact, I was going to answer that in text, as a matter of fact, but you saved me some typing. Okay. And I'm gonna end this. I thought both were the same, and I'll just go ahead and say we're the same. Since I got this on dangling here, let me get that out. Okay. Now, if they're not equal, that's a different story. If they're not equal, and the reason why I say it's a different story, let's say the person that you hooked up with or got become entangled with, and you love them for their faults as well as for their strengths. You love them for the weakness, and they're not equal. They can't give you, they can't be clear. They don't have clarity in the conversation because they can't talk at your level. They can't communicate at your level. They don't have their tools communicate at your level. And if you're not equal that way, do you give them grace? Do you find other means to support them? Or do you just do a timeout? Or like Glenda say, you push back and hopefully they can get the hint and you come back into the situation or bring them back in the situation? Or do you get them help? Do you get a third party in and say, maybe I'm not explaining it right. Maybe this third party can explain it right a little better than I can. Or maybe you're not hearing it from me because you're so in love and so entangled with me, you're not hearing what I'm saying. Because we've been together so long, you see me as a certain way in a relationship, and you can't get beyond the way you see me or the way I show up in a relationship. So we have to sometimes bring a third party in, and it could be a counselor, it could be a professional, it could be a friend, it could be a pastor.
Is it worth it?
If you think about it now, if you went with this person from the beginning because you love them because of their faults as well as their strengths, and you knew this person wasn't equal from the beginning. British people have a thing like that, the station of life. They're not the same station of life. Upper crest and lower crest, and they're not the same station, so they shouldn't entangle or shouldn't marry or shouldn't go together, something like that. We don't have that. Well, hopefully we don't have a system here. But if they're not equal and you know that going in, I don't think you can blame the person going in. Sharon, let's talk more about that, Sharon. Is that kind of addressing what you're saying, or I'm off?
Well, Yeah, in a way, because what I was saying was, okay, when you were saying that, okay, the respect thing is, if they're your equal or not your equal, I
Hmm.
feel like if you're not bringing nothing to the table or nothing like that, and you're expecting to always be the victim or whatever, then what can you say to me?
Oh, you saying it that way. Okay, you're
Yes,
saying
I mean,
it.
I'm gonna show you respect with respect due, but I mean, really, how much say so you really think you got? I'm sorry to say that, but that's how I feel.
Is there a perfect person?
So who said that a perfect person? Who said that?
No, I know they're not. They're no
Gigi.
perfect people,
Okay.
but they can show you your faults and bring them up, but they can't see their own.
That's true.
N-
Gigi,
n-
you breaking up when you talk.
We all
Now,
have faults.
I think she said it's true. Go ahead, Johnny. Johnny, you want to say
Yeah,
something,
we
Johnny?
all have faults, right?
Okay, go ahead, Johnny.
Um, Sometimes a person can persuade themselves as one thing,
Mhm.
like this is what they want, and they gave you boundaries, don't cross this boundary. And then later they change. Then what you supposed to do at that point? Are you supposed to cross that boundary or keep it in your mind? Just say, don't cross that boundary. But then they explain something else.
Oh, that's a good one, and that's where the consistency come in because how you show up consistently sets the pattern. It
Yeah.
sets the tone. It sets the level of energy in that relationship.
But
So if you,
still, is it worth it?
What,
it
what, what about if a person tell you their boundaries and they stick to their boundaries, but you insist on thinking that you can try to change them? How would the person handle that situation?
what? Go ahead, Mr. Kingdom, because I think you're going to say something. Okay, okay. Because I don't want to cut you off, Mr. Kingdom.
Mr. Kingdom, then I want to say something because
Go
Gigi
ahead.
said, "Is it worth it?" I would say no, it isn't worth it. I did put in the chat, but what I would say is, I feel like that person would have lost respect, love, and like for you. I think they would feel more dominant over you. It's like they're more important than you. So I would say, no, it's not worth it because at that time, what you would want from them, I don't think you'll ever get. I think it's gone. They don't want to give it to you anymore. That's my answer.
And that's why I think what you call Johnny was talking about consistency in that if you're not consistent, you're giving missed messages. If you're not consistent, you're giving missed messages. I don't know what the boundaries are anymore. I don't know where the bar is set at anymore. I don't know if the bar is high or bar low. So I think his thought, his some, and I don't want to talk for him, but what I was getting from him is that you muddied the water, as they say. You made it very difficult for me, for the person in your partner, whoever on the other side of the relationship, you made it very hard for them to understand how you showing up today. You might show up way, way different than you did yesterday. Which one does he deal with? The one in front of him or the one that's been he's been dealing with all the time? The one that show up. Am I near what you're saying, Johnny?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Okay, and that's why consistency is important. Consistency is important in relationships, your job, everything. How you show up. Consistency is important because how you say, "I know you by your fruit." That's what it is. It's consistency makes a major difference because when you have consistency, you're protecting yourself without guilt. You're protecting yourself without guilt if you have persistent. I can't even say the word now. Consistency. And that's very, very important. Now, sometimes people play on you that way. They're not consistent because they either want something from you or they can't cut the mustard and they muddy the water enough to keep the relationship going so they won't get found out or won't get found. They won't get called on the carpet or they won't get what am I going to say? They won't get not dismissed, but they won't lose the benefits. Let me say it the way.
Exposed.
Go ahead, Sherry.
No, I was saying they won't get exposed. They won't get
That's it. Exposed. That's it. Because they may know in their heart that you really that they really shouldn't be with you. They realize that they're not they shouldn't be, but they wanna be, and they try to stretch this thing out as long as they can, and hoping that you would go along because you find something in them. It could be their humor, could be whatever it is, whatever they're doing to make it last, and where they shouldn't be in the relationship with you. You should respect yourself and cut it short a long time ago. But they found out if they muddy the water, manipulate you, they can continue to get the goods, get whatever you have to offer them, and what are they getting from that relationship? I'm sure I'm not the only one that has been through that. A lot of
But
times.
who has that much time?
Hey, what about a codependent relationship?
Oh no.
Gigi said, "Who has so much time?" What did you say, Johnny?
What about a codependent relationship?
Ooh.
Explain that.
Dangerous.
Explain it. I want to understand what you're trying to say when you say
Dependent.
Johnny, would you feel like explaining it more to him so he can get more out of it?
I was trying to say, what does codependency mean?
Oh, what does it
That's
mean?
what I'm asking.
Huh?
All right,
Okay.
Codependency.
Glenda gonna look it up and give you the exact textbook answer for that.
Okay. And just need to figure out what I'm talking about. See,
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they both depend on each other for certain things in that relationship. But Glenda gonna give us the official answer to that. She's good getting it right now.
Okay.
Codependency is like when a person is thinking more of the other person more or less than themselves. Am I right? In a sense.
No.
No,
It-
because codependency means you're dependent on each other.
Yeah. Go ahead, Glenda.
Yes.
What does Webster say, Glenda? What does
Okay, the definition that I have is excessive emotional or psychological reliance on a partner, typically one who requires support on account of an illness or an addiction.
Okay. And I think Johnny was talking about more of an addiction. And addiction could be high on love. Addiction could be that they love your status. Addiction could be they love your resources.
Could be sexual.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
the
I'm saying.
resource.
It could be sexual. It could be sexual. So, and what it is, the one person can't survive without whatever goodies you're given. So how do you handle that?
Okay.
Well, wait, what side of the equation are you talking about first, Johnny? You talking about the one with the issue or the one with the goods?
If it's codependent, if it's a codependency, they both have the issue.
Well, Johnny, let Johnny explain what he was saying, so we'll know.
Okay.
Well, it's hard for me to talk, but anyway, it's got to be
Johnny,
something
we
that
got it.
both people depend on some kind of way to be together. That they need to be like that because they do it all the time. It may not be sexual, it may be whatever it is. It's something common that they like together. That's a codependency.
And it could be anything, like you said.
It could be anything.
It could be anything. And an outside person say, well, these people crazy. But inside the relationship, they know, hey, I'm comfortable where I'm at. With you, I have peace. With you, I'm comfort. With you, I'm whole. With you, I have what I need. With you, I can sleep better at night. With you, I can go further up the road.
Till one of them meets somebody else.
Or they can no longer meet the need.
Well,
right.
Then it's a change. Then the relationship has to be revalued. Because we said it back a while ago, and I think you guys frowned on it when we said sometime it's a transaction. Sometime love was a transaction. You said it a while back. because if one person need the money, the other person need the resources. And long as the person had the money, the person had the resources, that connection was tight.
I've seen that before.
I've seen it quite a few times.
But that's a temporary. That doesn't seem like a relationship you would want on a permanent basis.
It's not a healthy relationship.
Yeah, definitely not.
Well, codependency may be unhealthy from the beginning. That might be another relationship from the beginning for
Absolutely.
outsider. For outsider.
Well,
Here I'm gonna tell you something I saw, and I want to say it. I want to say it, and I don't want to. This is a real situation, and I'm trying. One person had I'm gonna say a mental illness, and the other person had a physical illness. Individually, they couldn't function at all. As an individual, they couldn't function. If that person had to be by themselves in society, that person couldn't function. But when those two came together, they could function. One had the strength that the other one need, and where one was weak at, the other pulled them up. And they do very well together. As a matter of fact, people on the outside try to pull them apart. And when they do separate, they both flounder and they end up finding each other back again.
well, it's different with disabilities.
Well, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
The breakdown to that whole scenario is communications. And like I've always said, we all know what we want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You communicate and you establish that compliance from each other. And when you establish that, you know what to expect. As we look in the window, we see one thing, because we're always looking in the window. We're not involved in it. But as long as they got a communication, it's like having a side chick. You know your role. It's like having a side guy. You know your role. And if you got that understanding, then you can deal with it. But the average person knows what they want. They're not going to deal with that because there's no complete understanding. What makes the boat float is your understanding. And if you can understand and know what you're into, and y'all agree upon and deal with it, guess what? It is what it is.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because you bring it right along to where we're headed next. Because what's the next thing is mutual reciprocity. You got it.
Wait, oh. Back up.
Oh, go ahead. Number 3, Glenda.
No. I'm talking to you.
I'm just getting Glenda queued up. Go ahead.
No. I don't know what the hell that word was you said.
That's why Glenda gonna say it. Tell me.
Reciprocity.
Glenda gonna give you what that means. Reciprocity. Tell them what it means, Glenda.
You want the definition, the Webster?
The definition. And I'll tell you, once you get that, is you both. Okay, no problem. I'll do it. You both expect something out of it. You both bring mutual things to it, whether it's expected emotions, whether it's mental, or whether it's spiritual balance. That you both get something out of it.
Yeah, give and take.
Yeah, you both get something out of it. It's you both are finding something, whether it's emotions, whether it's mental or spiritual balance. You get balance. It brings you balance. Like I gave you that scenario about the two people that gave them balance. And the same thing with Johnny with codependency. If they find balance, that reciprocity is there. They both feel like they're balanced and getting something out of that equation.
Okay, as far as my concern is, reciprocity is like sharing equally.
Correct.
Correct. It's about just being equal.
Yep.
Sharing equally, having an equal understanding in everything we do, be able to communicate equally.
That's it. Reciprocity, equal emotions, equal mentally, and spiritual balance. And that brings us to the next part of this. They, like you said, they're accountable. They hold themselves accountable. If me and Glenda is partners, I'm gonna hold Glenda. First I'm gonna hold myself accountable first. If me and Glenda together, I'm gonna hold myself accountable first to what I say in my part of the relationship. And you better believe I'm gonna hold her accountable too. And I hate to say it that way, but you both got to hold yourself and your partner accountable. Now, what does that look like?
That's called understanding and communication. Communicating.
Okay, that's
That's what that's called.
that's that's clear. But I think when you do actually do it, it's a little more. It's not that easy. I don't think, or is it?
Why ain't it?
Help me out, audience. Is it that easy to hold people accountable in a relationship?
Yeah,
You
because
can
you have
hold them accountable,
expectations.
All right, go ahead, Gigi.
but you can hold them accountable, but is it really going to be true?
And the reason why I say that, you have to honor each other by holding each other accountable. Because if you say you're gonna do certain things, and we both agree, and Sharon said I agree, and we both agree on those things, we sit down, we said this is what a relationship is, here's our vision for a relationship, and me and Glenda got a relationship, and I said, Glenda, here's our vision, and Glenda agrees, say that's our vision, and I say, here's how I can contribute to our vision, and here's what I think my role is. And Glenda she said, okay, Rufus, here's what I think I can contribute, and here's my role. And we both agree on that. We said, this is agreement. We can hold each other accountable. Now,
Until
go ahead, Gigi.
Until one flips the script and they decided, well, this is not what we said we're gonna do. You know, you, like I say, you can hold them accountable and everybody can agree, but then on down the road, somebody flips the script and then so, well, I didn't say that. This is not how it's gonna go.
I'm glad you said that, because that's who had that, I'm giving 70-30 to a relationship, who had Teddy Pendergrass. Hate to get back to that, but I'm giving 70, I'm giving 30, she giving 40, I'm giving 60. You have to hold a person accountable. And here's the thing. If Glenn and we come up with that agreement, and I'm giving 70%, she giving 30% of that agreement, you know, you got to confront her. You got to hold her accountable. You can't have the fear saying, hey, nope, you ain't doing it. Hey, time out. Nope, Linda, you're not holding your part. And you can't, a lot of people don't want to do that because they're afraid of resistance. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of conflict.
But Rufus,
go along with it. Go ahead. Who's that?
You still got to take, even though you're looking at equal accountability and stuff like that, you still got to take in the fact that you got to have good communication skills, because stuff comes up to change a lot of things.
True.
That makes it 70-30. That makes it 60-40. You understand? And if you got the proper communication skills amongst each other, then not saying you can sympathize and understand, but you know pretty much what's going on to make a decision to understand. You understand?
I understand, but we both under the agreement.
Low, rainy days come into play. Like, for example, if I'm married to somebody and we equal the bills, for example, we agree to pay the bills 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hell, I ain't working in 3 weeks. My end is gonna fall short. Yeah, you gotta hold me accountable for it, but then we gotta communicate and understand that, hey, look, I just don't have it. What am I supposed to do? Now you have communicated. Now you got to make a decision. Well, look, I can't afford both ends. So what can we do? Then you communicate and you come up with another agreement. But now if it keeps falling short, then that's a red flag for you to move on.
I think somebody moved on long before you got that far.
Oh, damn.
I think some. So you said that, no, that came to my mind, sir. Came to my mind when people have child support and they say they don't have the money. That's what came to my mind. I was on your side until that thought came to my mind. When that thought came to my mind, I said, nah, he can
Okay,
lose
when
it.
you have child support and you don't have the money, that's one thing. But when you have child support coming and you got the money, just don't want to give the money, that's a different story now.
And I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times in relationship, a person would decide not to do it because they don't want to do it anymore. Not because they can't do it anymore. They decide they don't want to do it anymore. They decide it's too much work. They feel it's not worth it.
Not only if it's too much work, it's just a matter of how long you're going to carry it. That's what I'm saying. You got to make that decision. And if you communicate right, you just, hey, I just can't keep carrying you, baby. I got to go.
So,
I have a question.
go ahead, Gigi.
Do you believe that there is a 50-50 relationship possibility?
Well,
Or should it be
go ahead.
100
When you say 50-50, what
versus
are you
the
talking
man
about?
than the
Finances?
woman? I mean, just a 50 relationship, yes.
At
Do
first,
you think that the man is supposed to take care of the woman, or they should be 50-50? Is that possible?
Rufus, let me answer that. Rufus.
I'll let you go first then. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm from the old school. My thought on that is when a man marries a woman, it's his responsibility to take care of her. Okay? Now, if you marry the right woman, she's going to step in as well, especially if she's working and help you.
Right.
So you don't do it. But technically, from being from the old school, yes, it's a man's job to take care of a woman. I've been married 3 times, and I done told all 3 of them, you ain't got to work. Now, with that being said, if they don't work, or they don't have to work, let me put it that way. If they want to work, they work. But here's the thing. If you're not working, I'm going to take care of you because that's my job. Now, if you work, don't you dare ask me to do no damn hair and no nails because you have your own money because I don't ask for it. Now, if you want to take me out to eat, that's fine. If you want to help with the bill, that's fine. But you don't have to because it's my job. God has blessed me where we own 2 houses because I don't do mortgages. We own all our vehicles. You understand? So now you get what you want, I get what I want. We have that understanding. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, and I hate to jump. I hate to go side. Go ahead, Glenda, because I saw you were gonna say something before I went
No, I
sideways.
wasn't going to say anything.
I hate to go
I
sideways.
need them hair and nails.
I heard you. I heard you, but I ain't gonna repeat it. I'm gonna have to go sideways. I remember the first time I told a person that we're gonna go 50-50 and I'm gonna do 50-50 relationship. They chewed me out. They said, "What? You only have to give 50%?" I said, "I'll be 50-50." They said, "Nope." They said, "You got to give 100. Each one of us got to give 100%." Put 100% of ourselves, 100% relationship. So I said, "Okay, just play on words." So I said, "Okay, no problem. We give 100%." And I learned ever since then. So when people say 50-50, I kind of go back to that 100. You give 100, I give 100 kind of deal. But
That's the same as 50-50?
that's what I thought. But I was corrected though that you give
How?
100%.
If I give 100, you give 100, we give it equal. 50-50, we give it equal. What's the difference?
Once again, I'm telling you, people think differently, and reason why I say that, people think differently. What you said, Mr. Kingdom, everybody don't have a traditional relationship. Everybody don't feel like, and this is I hate open this up, but I have to. This society now has made it very difficult for some races for the man and the woman to be 50-50. In the African in the cult in African American culture, it's 50-50 like everybody else. 100-100. Everybody give 100-100. But society is kind of bent that a little bit. Society now is trying to make where the African American woman makes more than the man. The African American woman now can bring her own table. She don't have to sit at the man's table anymore.
And that's some of the problem of society right now.
But let me finish, Ms. King. Then I turn it over to the floor. And that's a problem with the Black community right now, because in order for a race or a community to make it, it's got to be a family. Family is a structure. In some way, I'm going to say the devil for now. The devil has decided that he's going to break the Black family up by not making the man and woman equal anymore. They're making the woman head now. A lot of kids, a lot of African American kids now are raised in single family homes where the woman is the head of the house. And that wasn't the way it was meant to be. So this single woman is raising this child by herself. And she's not only now, she's working 2 jobs. She's making more money than the husband or baby daddy is making. So when that happens, and it's happening every day, and guys, I'm sorry to say that, but if we poll everybody on this call tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if the women didn't make more than the men would make it on this. If we put everybody's salary down or what everybody makes and bring home, I wouldn't be surprised if the women, if the ladies would make more than the men making in this right here. And that's our society. If you look at the Black female is more educated than the Black male. So,
but you know what?
Go ahead, sir.
Here's the problem, though. It's okay for a Black female to make more money. Mm-hmm. It is. Mm-hmm. It's okay if the man makes more money. What happens is when you communicate and come together, the money ain't the issue. It's what you pouring into the equation. For example, if my lady and my wife making more money than me and she's paying more, well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure that crib is taken care of. I'm going to make sure them kids is taken care of. So by me picking up the slack on those sides, that's going to equal it back out. So it's always going to be equal if they're doing their part. You stuttering. What's up?
I'm going to make this personal. I'm going to say something. I'm going to make it personal. My ex-wife, I said, I wonder, we've been divorced for several years. And I was so, hey, why are you not married? Why you haven't married anybody else? It's a beautiful lady. Well, got everything, house and everything going. She told me, I'm not going to take care of no man. She said, the average man out here wants to be taken care of. They want to know where I live, why I'm driving this nice car. And I said, huh?
So true.
I couldn't believe it. And
so
then I started talking to other ladies thinking the same thing. They're single because of that.
But the thing is, Rufus, like I just said, though, mm-hmm. Even though she's making more money, if that man pulling his weight around the house, she's not taking care of him. They sharing it. Ladies, but now she's making all the money and she's coming home and got to cook and all that stuff too. Hell, I'll kick his ass out too.
Ladies, am I wrong, ladies? Am I way to the left on this one?
You on point.
Yeah, because that's why.
Well, I personally feel I agree with whoever told you that. I'm not taking care of no man. Not no grown man that can go out there just like I can and go to work or do for themselves.
But Sharon, are you seeing where now men want to be taken care of? Where men want women taken care of?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I see that.
That's the problem of today. Men want to be taken care of. They want to always be looked at as if like they handicapped or something. And that's the problem. You said it right. Maybe society made it like that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But yes, men ask more from you than you ask from them.
Sharon, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm gonna use you and I as an example. You and I married, right? Mm-hmm. You're making all the money, right? Mm-hmm. You come home, I got your dinner done. I got the house clean. I'm taking care of the crib. You still gonna kick me out because I'm not I'm
No,
not
no, no, I'm not, because you're doing your part. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
It's got to be a
That
balance. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your
that
part.
was
If I
my
feel like you're
point.
doing the best you can and you making sure them things are straight. No, I'm not. But I'm gonna tell you, you got to start working eventually now.
Yeah, I understand that part. Trust me, I do understand that. But meanwhile, when I'm down and short, I'm gonna do what I got to do to try to make
Exactly.
things right. As
Exactly.
long
Now,
as I'm
if you help
trying,
that
that's
part up,
cool. But
no,
then
I
I
won't kick you out.
understand what y'all mean when y'all say just sitting back. If you got a man lazy and ain't trying, yeah, you're right. I ain't taking care of no man.
Uh,
I agree 100%.
somebody had a question for me. Somebody had a
Yeah,
question.
I got a question. There was another question in the chat I wanted to address because I'm looking at the time and
Uh-huh.
I wanted to get it answered before we end for tonight.
Okay. What was the
Okay.
question?
All right. How do you deal with someone who doesn't respect their self, but wants you to show them the utmost respect, like they are a judge or something?
Kick him to the curb.
Move on.
Ooh.
Well, I guess I didn't need your input, Mr. Carpenter. I got the audience participation on that one.
I'm
So,
glad you answered that, so we can go back to the sharing and the Mr. Kingdom conversation. And I want to hear Annette's point of view. If Annette would share a point of view, because I think there's another answer to this.
really? Okay.
I think there's another answer.
Well, I want to
Annette, do
hear
you
it.
have some input on this one?
That's why you laugh. I know why you're laughing.
I have enjoyed listening to this. And truthfully, I don't feel the way you all feel about it.
How did I
I,
know?
I do see it differently. Um, but one thing about it, because I'm single, I'm not really looking for the man to bring equal to the table or whatever. Or my partner. I'll just say my partner to bring equal to the table. I'm really looking for my partner to be able to bring the table. Don't bring equal. Bring the table. Allow me to be to know that that person will be able to support or do for us, because I can do for myself. And I think the man can do for himself, the woman can do for himself. We're not raising each other. We're coming together as a partner to share and love each other. And I'm not doing 50, 50, 30, 50, 50. I'm not doing none of that. I'm looking for you to take care of all our responsibilities. However, I feel like it would be my prerogative to participate, to make sure that we don't go lacking when I can see that my partner is not able to do something or bring it home as needed, and I have it, holding it, just saying, oh no, I'm not going to put my share in, or I'm not going to do this or do that. Now I think that's a negative. That's a no.
Well, that's the same thing I said.
No, you said 50-50, Mr.
No,
King.
I never said 50-50.
You said,
I said from my experience and
oh,
my upbringing, I'm from the old school. My job is to take care of you. And if you want to help, that's a bonus.
yeah,
My
but
job is to take care of you unless you decide to work.
I
Then
understand.
I'm gonna take care of you, but yet and still, I'm not gonna get your hair and nails done. I
Well,
ain't gonna
Mr.
get your feet done because
Well,
you have money and funds to do it.
Well, Mr. Kingdom, I would need you to do those things too. And let
I
me
will
tell
do those
I would
as
need,
Yes,
long as you're not
yes,
working.
yes.
yeah, I would need to be able to tell you, baby, I got it this time. I can handle that. But I need you to know that that's what I need you to handle.
I can handle that as long as you're not working.
She said she's gonna work. She said she's gonna work and be out.
Yeah.
She's gonna work and have her independency.
Yeah.
Work,
Right.
Yeah.
work.
My point. But what I'm trying to say is, okay. Let me break it down. Like I tell my wife, I don't mind getting your nails and hair done. But if I'm paying all the bills and taking care of you, okay, and you decide to go to work, I'm gonna continuously take care of all the bills and stuff.
Don't you get a
Now,
smile?
with the money you have, you should be free enough to not even to think about me doing your hair and nails. You just tell me you're going to
Don't
do
you
it.
get a smile every day?
Don't I get a smile every day?
Yes. Don't you get a good feeling?
Let me ask you something. You got to change it up.
No. I just asked you.
Yes,
Simple, yes or
yes,
no?
I agree
Do
with
you
yes,
not get a
I
good
agree
feeling?
with Mr. Kingdom on that.
yes. I get a good smile, but let me ask you this: don't
Then
you
my
smile
hair
when
and
your bills
nails
is
should
paid?
not be a problem.
Don't you be smiling when them bills is paid and you ain't got to worry about it? Don't you sleep good at
I
night?
want my hair and nails done too.
You don't get them done. If you ain't working, I'm gonna make sure it's done because I want you looking
If I
good.
put in my 100%, I need something back for it. And my hair and nails is not an option.
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree with
we
Mr.
grown
Kingdom.
folks in here. I'm gonna break it down another level and way. Okay, we grown folks. That's
I
just like
want
I
my
tell
hair and nails
females.
done.
You know how females say you got to pay to play? You know how that you know that saying, right? Why am I gonna
Yes.
pay for you to be satisfied? That don't make sense to me.
Because
That don't make sense to me to go out and pay you and you the one getting satisfied. I'm just getting relief. You getting satisfied.
grade
That
Yeah,
don't
A,
I
make
don't agree with
sense.
that one there,
baby,
Mr. Kingdom.
grade A. When grade A is in the house, baby, I need my hair and nails done.
Oh, you got
Baby.
you got
Grade A.
But so
Mr.
you think
King.
the man's supposed to okay, what are you doing with your money? If he's paying all the bills and getting your hair and nails done, what are you doing with your money? You
Whatever
saving
she
it for a
wants.
rainy day?
Oh,
Whatever she wants.
we gonna help out. I'll help out. But if I'm putting up and doing everything that I'm supposed to do, cooking and cleaning and providing a award-winning night, I need my hair and nails done.
Wait a minute, hold up. I tell you what, let me back up a little bit. I got to
Still
back
working.
up.
Mr. Kingdom, you're
Hold
not
on,
gonna
wait,
win
hold
on this
no,
one
no,
now.
no,
I'm
no,
trying to
no. I
tell you,
gotta
that's
make
what
sure I'm
I
on the
want.
right level.
That is
I'm
what
on the
I
right
want.
page. I gotta get this understanding now. I gotta get this understanding. I want to make sure I understand something.
Oh, go
Are
ahead.
we talking getting your hair and nails done on a regular me paying, or just a every now and then thing? I just say, no, baby, I got it this time. Which one is it now?
No, I think she's saying she gonna say she got it this time. You
No,
gonna
no, no,
do
no,
it
no, no, no,
regularly,
no,
and she gonna
no,
say I got it
no.
one time.
Rufus, stop.
Okay, I'll let him say it.
The
That's what
question
they said.
is, the question is, my job from the old school is to take care of you. Okay? Am I supposed to be getting your hair and nails done while you work all the time or every now and then? And
When
you
I
got
go
your
to
own
work
money.
and I come home and I provide a grade A service, house cleaning, dinner cooked, um, a smile on your face,
Let me stop you. Let
and
me stop you
all I
because
want from
I'm
you
not the one.
is to get my
Me
hair and nails
personally,
done,
I
I
don't
shouldn't
fit
have
the
a problem.
criteria of what you're talking about because guess what? I
What?
am a chef and I'm going to help you keep the house clean. I'm going to help you cook. So I'm not the one for that situation. So I
Okay.
guess I don't need to be talking on that level because I don't expect you to come home and cook and clean all the time because that's what I help you do. So we still equal.
Mr.
But
King,
grade A.
Mr. Kingdom, let's
Yeah.
like Glenda, let's do some do some illustrate examples, Glenda. Let's do some of them, and let's do two, and then we end the night.
Okay,
Unless you want to do a second week, it's up to you
well,
guys.
it's
Let's
two
do a
minutes
Yeah,
second week.
yeah, because
till.
my question hasn't been answered.
Okay, all
Uh-oh.
right. So we're
Wait a
gonna
minute.
do a
What
second
question is
week.
that?
The one that Glenda read off. The one that
Which one
Glenda
was
read.
that?
Read it off again,
Uh,
Glenda.
Okay, let me go back. Okay, how do you deal with a person who doesn't respect their self, but wants you to show them the utmost respect, like they are a judge or something?
Oh, that was answered. That was answered. Two of us said, one said, move on. I say, run away.
I think she wants more to it than that. The runaway is easy. I think she wants to first. She wants to see what you go through first. Do you work at all?
You communicate And if it persists or continue,
right.
you move
Tell you
on.
what, let's everybody come up with a solution for that, and we'll that'll be our opening line next week. After Glenda do
Yes.
an intro next week, we'll jump in there and answer that one. And I want
Yes.
everybody to think on this week, so we'll know what we'll do. All right, Glenda, you want to take us home?
Okay, so you're gonna elaborate more on Sharon's question next week.
Yeah. We still gonna finish tonight, but we're gonna start with her question next week. We'll start right there, and we'll just take up on this subject right after we do that. Matter of fact, after we do her question, then we'll go into illustrated examples, and we'll finish fleshing out the night's topic.
Could she read the question just one more time? I know it's already just one more time.
I'm gonna write it down too. Go ahead.
Not a problem. Give me 1 second. Let me get back to it.
And this is
It is,
Sharon's
how
question.
do you deal with someone who doesn't respect their self, but wants you to show them the utmost respect, like they are a judge or something?
Okay.
Everybody understand the question?
Yeah, share the.
Okay. All right, then we got it. All right, Linda, take us home.
All right, as we close tonight's discussion, I want you to carry this truth with you. Protecting your energy is not rejection, it's direction. It leads you towards the love and respect you truly deserve. Boundaries aren't walls, they are bridges that guide others on how to love you well. May you step into your week with confidence, affirming that your energy is sacred. May your relationships reflect the love you give yourself, and may you always remember when you honor your own energy, you invite others to do the same. Thank you for showing up for yourself tonight, and thank you for joining us for Reset to Healthy Relationships Sunday night at 9. I will see you next week. Good night, everyone.
Everybody, good night, everybody. Good night. Good night.